So we're going to talk a little bit more about what we do, what we apply to grow plants well here. And so, as I said earlier, when we plant a new crop, of course the old crop is pulled out, the beds are weeded, about a 3 or 4 inch layer of compost is put on top of the bed, raked out evenly, and then we use the turning fork, placed all the way as far as it can go and pushed to the ground, thus allowing the compost to drop down into the soil, but without bringing soil from below up top. That way we maintain the soil layers just like nature does. More organic material on top, less down below, just like in a forest. So compost is put on, seeds are planted, or seedlings are planted, and then weekly the entire garden area gets a dose of organic liquid fertilizer, and in that is a complete food: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, all the minerals, and as well beneficial bacteria and beneficial fungus. Growing in this area, with the amount of rainfall that we have, the humidity levels being what they are, fungus is our #1 problem. So those are in the fertilizer. We also use different beneficial bacteria that we actually make here on the farm. That's also sprayed. As far as insect control, we use basically about 3 different things. Neem is a weekly spraying. When we have special issues with caterpillars, we use something called spinosad, and that's pretty deadly for caterpillars. But neem is the basis for our insect control, and we don't look for 100% control. We look for the fact that the bugs aren't damaging the crops too much. I'm going to talk a little bit about how we make our compost, and essentially what we're doing with our compost is making it so that we can add organic material to the soil. We generally rely on our liquid organic fertilizers to supply the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that we need. We will pick up some of all of those important elements and others when we make our compost, but this is not high-powered compost. This is mainly to add organic material. What we have here is a pile of drying banana and plantain leaves, and when we're ready to make compost, we will cut some green banana and plantain leaves and essentially do a 50-50 mix, and we will add some calcium to it as well. With the high rainfall here, we need calcium to keep the soil pH correct. So what we do is we put it in this screen. This is a plastic screen here with some relatively small holes so everything doesn't fall out, and it is just layered in there, green, brown, a little calcium here and there, and then probably about 3 months later we will turn it again into another one. And we keep it wet all the time, of course. In the winter, or what we call winter, when in the rainy season here, we'll cover them with plastic so that they don't get too wet. But otherwise, you try to keep the moisture level, to what is perfect for making compost. And 6 to 8 months later from the start, this will go onto a bed. So it's important to explain that when we're making our compost here, that we do not bring in any outside sources of fertilization or organic material. It's all collected from the farm, and the reason for that is if we were to go, say for example, get chicken manure from one of the local factory farms, we don't know what kind of antibiotics or hormones that these animals have been fed and what kind of residues are in the finished product. We could find out by testing that would be probably cost prohibitive. So we just eliminate any problem with hormones or antibiotics or pesticides or anything else by only bringing in from outside certified organic fertilizer. What we make here on the farm is all sourced from the farm. That way we know it's truly organic.